And then my favorite chord of all time, I use this chord a lot in most of my songs, I think. It's a really awesome chord. It's B7 it's called, and it's mute 2-1-2. Oh, sorry, mute 2-1-2 0-2. It might not sound this way at first, but it's a pretty sad, dramatic chord. It's but you only really get to figure that out once you hear it played with other chords. But yeah, again, it's mute 2-1-2 open 2. That's my favorite chord. This position actually sounds really good. A lot of places on the neck, on the 5th, 7th, and 3rd, and I'm sure many others. So you'll eventually start to learn your favorite chords, which ones sound good where. Your brain will automatically start to do that. But it's always good to consciously focus on what you're playing and what sounds you're making and how they interact with each other. If you put conscious focus on that, then your chord progression development will be a lot faster. But like I said, your brain will automatically pick things up and start to piece things together for you. So when I'm coming up with a chord progression for a song, I don't like to just sit there and say, okay, I'm going to write a song right now, and then just sit there and try to think of chords to play. Usually I'm just improvising or fucking around, and something will come out, and I'll be like, oh, okay, that's good, I'm going to put that in a song, or I'm going to write a song right now, based on that riff. So either way, I put it in the bank and save it for later. Another thing too, when you're writing a song, you don't need to finish it right then and there. Sometimes I'll write half a song and leave it for a long time, or sometimes I'll write a full song but I won't be completely happy about it, but there will be parts about it that I really do like, and then I'll be writing a new song and I'll steal the part that I do like from the other song and put it in this song. Basically I'll make like Frankenstein songs, And it's always good to, well, when it comes to writing a song, the first thing you do, that's going to be different for everyone. For me, I come up with a chord progression first, always. I don't write lyrics and figure out chords that sound good with it. I come up with a riff, and then that's where it all starts. And I do this because it's a lot easier to come up with a vocal melody in your head that matches your chords, rather than it is to come up with a vocal melody in your head and then try to write chords that sound good with it. That's hard for me to do anyways. If you know a lot of guitar theory and stuff, it might not be so hard. You might be able to come up with chords that match a vocal melody perfectly. That's awesome. I wish I could do that, but I'm not very good with theory. I don't know too much of it, and so I'm sure a lot of you are the same way. So that's why it's good to come up with chords first. Let's see. And as far as structuring goes, don't worry too much about it, but this is actually something that I consider one of my weaknesses. I'm starting to get better at anyway. But a lot of the songs I'd write, it would be a verse, chorus, maybe a bridge, verse, chorus. And I'd follow that song structure a lot, and I didn't even realize I was doing it until I wrote a few songs and I realized they're all structured the exact same way. And not too many people are going to pay attention to that, but it is always good to diversify your chord structuring. And you have to remember that there are no rules about songwriting. So if you want to write a song without a chorus, but then you think, oh wait, well, do a lot of people really do that? That doesn't sound very common. I better not do that. Well, like I said, there's no rules, so don't go by what other people are doing. If you want to write a song without a chorus, write a song without a chorus. Just write whatever you want to write, and don't be negatively influenced by anyone else. You can get ideas from people, but don't get ideas of what not to do from people. That's pretty key. You gotta remember that. And also, everyone writes songs their own way and comes up with them their own way. So what I've said in this video in the first half isn't going to be a perfect guide for anyone. And I know there's a lot of things I didn't really talk about songwriting, but there's way too much stuff to cover it all. And you're never going to learn songwriting, how to do perfect songwriting from someone else. You got to develop your own style and figure out what works best for you. These are more or less just tips that might work for you or might not. When I read the book The Beatles, it was The Beatles by Bob Spitz. Very good book, but anyway, this one part, he was talking about how Paul McCartney came to write a song, and Paul McCartney said he comes up, now I'm paraphrasing here, I'm not sure exactly what he said, but something like Paul McCartney likes to come up with vocal melodies and patterns before he has the lyrics to them. Because I guess that's just what was easiest for him. And so the song Yesterday, yesterday, all my troubles seem so far away. Well, he came up with just the melody of that first, so da 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 da, before he had words. But he didn't like to go da da da, so he would just make up words just so he can sing out his vocal melody and hear it out loud. So he just make up random words, and when he said he was writing yesterday was scrambled eggs until he wrote the lyrics, so it was scrambled eggs, da, 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 so that's just a random fact, but I'm just what I'm driving at is everyone has their own way of writing songs, and there's not like 2 or 3 ways you can do it. There are very unique ways you can write your song, like Paul McCartney does, and that's something you'll figure out after you write a few. What else can I say? I got this from Elliott Smith. He actually has a video about songwriting tips. He said a lot of people get discouraged because they're afraid other people won't like their music. Well, the fact that you wrote it and you think it sounds good, well, it must mean it is good in some way because you like it. And unless you have the worst taste in the whole world, then other people are going to like it too, because you like it, right? That's always important to remember. And the last tip I gotta give before I finish this video, if I missed anything, and I'm feeling like I am, I'll include it in my next vlog whenever that may be. But I'd like to finish with one tip. This is more so for the lyrics, but in a way it can be guitar too. Just be completely honest in your writing. Don't try to write something that isn't you. Don't lie about yourself in your writing, or don't try to hide stuff. Be honest, even if it doesn't make you sound so glamorous or whatever. Other people aren't attracted to that. You might be, but other people don't like hearing shit like that, and people can see through insincere writing, and it comes off as phony and cheesy. Just be honest, and people will see that, and people can pick up on genuine writing, and so just keep that in mind. And that's about it. Before I do end this vlog though, I wanted to just mention a YouTube channel. It's a friend of mine, Twibs. That's what I call him anyways. I know him from a forum. I can't remember his YouTube username right now, but I call him Twibs anyway. But he makes a lot of electronic music. He makes beats, and I really recommend you check him out. He writes a lot too. Like, he names his song by number, And so I think he's up to like almost 4,000 or something like that, or just over 4,000. But anyways, his channel is right here, and I recommend you check it out. It's good stuff, worthwhile. And yeah, that's about it. So have yourselves a good night, and I will talk to you in the not too distant future.